Good afternoon and evening to the ladies and the gentlemen. This is Jar Media episode 345. It is October. It is spooky. It is freaky. This is the month to make amends for all your bad deeds before Santa doesn't give you your presents. This is the JARCast. I'm James, Alex, and Jamie. It's a bit of a chaotic one today. It's October.
Never been scarier. Never been scarier. When you repeat it like that, it makes it so much scarier.
Yeah, because it's like the haunting effect, as they say.
Been scarier.
Never been scarier.
This is the pre-cast before we go to the King's Arms and give ourselves PTSD. Post-traumatic...
Suction disorder.
when you've had too many goes on a sucky dry.
Post-suck.
Do you think the gooners and goonettes have sucky dries?
How would a goonette use a sucker dry?
Backwards.
Invert it.
They'll have to get in touch and tell us how a goonette uses a sucky dry.
Well, there's millions of goonettes out there.
Yeah.
Well, there's clearly more than one.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not going to shame any jarling gooners.
I am.
But if you're a jarling goonette, let us know. There must be at least one.
Why? Let's hope not.
Well, there's 100% goon. There's ex-gooners and gooners.
Yeah, and I wish there wasn't. If
we're responsible for this booming popularity, we've got to take fucking control.
If you are a gooner and you are hearing my words at this very moment, hear my words.
Stop.
Look at yourself.
You're just going to make them suicidal.
Look at yourself in the mirror, like in the movie where they build the house on the
I was
burial
thinking,
ground.
look at yourself like in Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Look at yourself as Taxi Driver from the famous movie Taxi.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. Just like how I was thinking how we got to thank those Jar Media patrons that make the audio version of the show possible and get their names read out if they're a Dibby tier or above.
They can actually see
second week of each month.
What their donations do to the cast. We get nice drippy uniforms.
This is relaxed. I like this. This is the first time we've all been in our smoking jackets.
I don't smoke.
Called that, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
My disposable vapes have been banned. I can't use them anymore.
Your vaping jacket.
Yeah, my vaping jacket.
I'm the only one. No, I'm not the only one who's ever smoked on the cast. I think James has had a few puffs of his cigar.
Yeah, I did.
I had
We
a
did
fake cigarette back in the day.
Oh yeah, funny.
There's one more of those left if anyone wants it.
We smoked during the Andrew Tate mockery episode. The Hustler University episode.
Yeah.
That's right. Jar University. Those were the days.
That was like a few months ago.
Yeah, it's a few months ago. It was like March.
So you know what, guys?
Just remember, we're 3 months away from December. 3 months.
Not really, because it's like the end of September.
Yeah. October, November, December.
Yeah, that's the third month, so we're 3 months away from January.
No, we're 4 months away from January. Because 4 would be January.
Well, no, then we're not away from it, then we're in it.
Exactly.
Yep, we're all doing sober October.
I'm not. Yeah. I don't do any sober for anything.
Yeah, we're doing sober October, aren't we, guys?
Why are you smoking, Mr.
Huh?
I'm sober all the time, everything.
You've got two vices on the go right now.
Here's the question: How is it possible to be sober all the time?
Well,
you eat an M&M.
That's not that. That's got nothing to do with sobriety.
Why not?
There's no.
Do you need an M&M? Do you need an M&M?
There's no liking things and wanting to eat them.
Are the ingredients in M&Ms necessary?
Nobody refers to themselves as sober when they've stopped eating M&Ms. Nobody does do that.
That's
Don't
not
worry,
what
guys.
I'm
I'm sober. I can't have anything.
No, we call ourselves sober when
Hello,
we stop drinking
sobriety
alcohol.
animal.
When we
yeah,
stop,
so Alex and smoking.
or
And Alex is doing them both.
Shooting up or
I'm
whatever
not smoking.
it may be.
It's an insert. It's AI.
It's not. No, you can't use. Have you seen the new generation of AI photos?
No.
People think it's real. It's like 6 cats and it says gay sex. Yeah, that's
I
the.
haven't seen that one.
And
Why?
that's the new meme. So now every tech bro and person who wants Instagram engagement bake money posts something that's like a dog that says funny or slur, and it gets likes. It's over.
It's over. I'll tell you what's over, man. I got a story to tell you guys.
Oh, God.
The housekeeping section of the show is over.
As soon as we're in October and it's kind of scary month, something scary's happened to me.
I don't. Okay.
I'm like a victim in a horror movie over here.
Oh yeah, this.
A victim in a horror movie.
Yeah, I've had my identity stolen.
Wait. How did that make you feel?
Awful.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's like
Scary.
The past 2-3 days have been like, oh my god. I get back from Canada and then I start getting letters, right?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with being in Canada. It just happened to be timed perfectly with that. I'm getting all these letters, like one from a phone company, right? Oh, hello. You owe 44 quid actually. And if you don't pay it, then your contract is over and your credit's going to go down the drain.
Wait.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I don't have an O2 contract. What are you talking about? And then the next day, I get another letter. This time from a bank.
NatWest.
It wasn't that
It
West.
was Lloyd's.
It was a bank I don't have and
Cheeky
don't
little
operate
Lloyd.
under. And in the letter it said, we previously shut down your account because we thought there were fraudulent activities going on, but now you are free to use your account.
Oh. But this one wasn't addressed to you, was it?
It was my address, but a different name. So I only opened the letter because the day before I got the fraudulent one, which was under all my details.
Mm-hmm.
But this one was my house,
Yeah.
but a different name.
Yeah.
So I figured I opened it, and it was a fraud letter from the bank. Yeah, saying we've closed. We've
reopened your account.
We've reopened it because we thought it was fraudulent, but actually it's all good, sort of thing.
You can now use
Clearly
your account.
everything's fine.
So that's what I've been doing the past 2-3 days, is just calling up these various companies, being like, "Yeah, I got to report a fraud, I guess."
Do you have any idea how this has happened?
No idea.
Have you been hacked?
I mean, I've been online for a long time. I'm sure at some point a company I've used that has my data, they probably sold it somewhere. Blah, 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 blah. There's probably something out there. Fraudsters have been... My assumption is fraudsters have been using my details in order to move money around various bank accounts, get phone contracts under my name.
So then they can open accounts to put more money in, and it's just moving money.
Yeah.
Cleaning money, you can basically say you're cleaning money with it.
Yeah. So that's been my experience the past few days.
Did you have to call the police?
No, they wouldn't care.
They would not do anything about it.
So yeah, I've been like... It makes you paranoid, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine.
So like I'm on the phone talking to, I think is this phone company, right? And midway through the conversation I'm like, hold up. What if the like letters that they've sent me are fake, and it was something to trick me in order to call up to confirm my details so they can get more details from me?
Which you almost succumbed to if I wasn't in the room at the time they got a call from a bank about it.
Well, yeah, a lot. When was that? A few years ago?
Last year.
Was it last year?
Yeah.
It might have been longer.
No, it was last year.
But that was a fraud attempt that didn't get this far.
Yeah.
Where it was a bank calling up. They were trying to scare me by saying that we've noticed some kind of suspicious activity on your account. Can you confirm your details? And in order to protect your account, can you move this sum to this account in order to protect it. When it got to that point, that's when you know it's like, if they're asking you to move money around, it's obviously fraud, because the bank's not going to get you to do that.
Yeah, the bank would just be like, oh, we'll move it for you.
Yeah. So that never went anywhere. So I was thinking, is it like those fraudsters who have like, they've been like waiting?
Yeah, they've like evolved.
Yeah.
They got the next tech.
So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's like such a like, man, humanity can be such assholes.
Yeah. And it seems a lot of effort to scam to this degree.
It works though.
They wouldn't do it if it didn't work.
Yeah, obviously. But when you're putting in that amount of effort, it's like the top end bank heisters. You know, like we've talked about many moons ago the crazy bank heist where like people dug tunnels and stuff, and it's like, well, but if you utilize this intelligence legitimately,
Right.
you could probably make the same amount of money.
No.
But these are whole like networks, organized systems using technology to scam people, trick people.
Yeah.
It goes deep. It goes
but
quite.
the difference with these ones though is that the scam's already been done. Like they're doing something. They just needed a patsy in order to like use the info in order to create a bank account, I guess. Used my information, probably put some money into an account, and are just moving money around, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's harder to track cash if you're like moving it bank account, back. Like it's going to be really
You're
difficult.
probably part of the process where, you know, there's the those like Instagram posts, Facebook posts, whatever, where, you know, these gangs post things like, if you want like 5-10k.
Oh, Craigslist is full of those.
It's those things, because you're basically giving them their account where they're laundering money into.
Yeah.
You're like, that account's been created as like a middle point for those type of transactions.
I've seen those before on Craigslist,
Yeah.
where it's like, I need to move 10 grand. You can keep 2 of it if you just let me put it in.
Yeah, there's been Vice have done shit on it. You can easily find loads
Yeah,
of details of what that process. But that's like, that is that situation where that you're like a middle point, and you're unaware. It's just happening in the background of your information.
Yeah. So I've like checked over like my various bank accounts and stuff, and there's nothing I've seen suspicious.
Weird.
This fly has been in the house for like days. Just die. I thought they only live like 3 days.
Maybe you had children.
Yeah, it probably has. It's probably a nest. But yeah, what was I saying? Fraudsters. Not much fun, man. And it's only going to get crazier. Because I'm with that one that James was referencing, when they appear on your phone, it's like, it says it's the bank.
It's VoIP. It's that you can just change the name.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, what can I even trust anymore? And I went into the Twitter DMs of one of these big phone companies, asking like, is this even are these letters even legitimate? And they were like, don't worry, these letters are legitimate. I can confirm that the fraud has been reported and it's been passed on to the fraud team. So that was like, okay, so at least the letters were real. Because I found, you start like Googling like the numbers that are on the letter, and I found a thread from like 2018. It was like someone on Twitter had posted pictures of the exact letters I got, and they were like, my wife keeps getting these letters, and it's clearly like fake or something. So I'm like, yeah, it's like going down this rabbit hole of fear.
Yeah. What do you believe?
So yeah, my only fear is like it's going to affect my credit somehow. That's my fear, because it's like, if it's under my name, I guess they don't have any of my bank details, but
yeah, I don't think it won't. I don't think
as long as they don't have my bank details, I guess. But it's just the fear of it being attached to my name, my address. Like, that sucks. It really sucks.
Do you know what? I was saying this on the subject of this, we need to thank the people. We don't know who they are. We never will. But there are people who go on these websites of like, who called me, and they actually comment anonymously saying, I got this call then, it was a scam.
Yeah.
Those are the actual like real life Robin Hoods, because they you'll find some really obscure numbers. There'll be one guy just like scam, and like, cause I fucking who called me my own dad's number because I didn't know it, and I was just like, I'll get no results. Who the it? And I picked up and then my dad was like, hello. Hello.
That's the one positive though, is that because I'm getting these letters, they have like these specific a paper trail, these specific reference numbers. So I call up this bank and I'm like, I got to report a fraud right now. And he's like, oh, I think you've got the wrong number. But I'm like, explain the story. And then he's like, hold up, give me is there a reference number on there? And I'm like, yeah, I got it right here. And he's like, okay, I've reported this. We're going to close that bank account ASAP. Don't you worry, my friend. So that was something at least. So, but now I'm just like waiting for the post each day. Like, oh, what company is it going to be next?
Yeah.
Using my details. And I consider myself I've been pretty paranoid about this for like probably since 2016, 2017. Trying to be cautious about it. But yeah, there's just so much information out there. There's so many websites just selling your personal data for money.
Do you know what?
Your metadata.
I have a tactic to avoid scams on phones. Don't pick up ever. Never pick up any number.
But I can't sometimes. Like today, right? The boiler man came. They call you to say that they're nearby.
Mm-hmm.
I got to know when they're coming.
Yeah.
You know, like there's certain things like that where it's like I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
It's a luxury not everyone can afford.
It's also probably because I've nothing going on in my life and I don't actually need to pick up the phone at all.
So like sometimes you're waiting for a phone call from a company, from the boiler man, from something like this, a builder, or a blah 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 blah.
Yeah, no, I get that. But it's just like if I see a number and I don't know, I just don't pick up ever.
I tend to, yeah. Or now I'm getting quite good at like, yeah, you just answer it and you can tell pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like based on what they say, based on if it's like a robot, whatever.
I had a weird one recently that was like a robot voice. But it was not a robot voice. It was definitely someone speaking. But they
were impersonating it.
They were like the technology they used, it was someone's voice that had been recorded, but it was sensitive to me talking. It was really, really bizarre. Like I picked up the phone.
What were they trying to get from you?
I can't remember. It might have just been like I often get people calling about like, oh, you can get this month free of O2. Just
join this competition and sign up for X or Y.
And then like while they're calling me, I get a text from O2 saying someone's trying to access your account. Here's your one-time code. Don't tell anyone. And they're like, what's your one-time code for this special deal? And I'm like, yeah, see ya. But this one was like, it heard me talk, stopped, went, and then carried on talking. Ooh. And it was really weird. And like the further this goes, if they get like people if they can like emulate,
well, you can't do that.
That's already happening.
That's
already happening. They're getting old people by getting like
their
a Facebook message from who's someone claiming to be their son or daughter or whatever, someone related to them, like saying, I'm in trouble, like I really need this cash now. And people panic. They're not thinking because they're freaked out. They move some money and it's too late by then.
Yeah.
It's older people who have no grasp on tech. They're not standing
It's younger people with no grasp on tech.
Well, that too, yeah.
It's just everyone.
It's only going to get crazier.
Do you know, honestly?
When Snoop Dogg calls you up and you're like,
it's a Snoop.
God.
Oh my God, Snoop's calling me?
I've made it.
Snoop needs $5,000 so he can pay his cousin something.
I abandoned one of my bank accounts like years ago because they kept charging me for my overdraft, and I was like, "You." So I just completely abandoned it. I got like an email from them ages ago, like, there's new charges being added to your account. Yeah, I tried to log in, and the details all linked to a phone number I don't have anymore. So I'm like, whatever. Can't get into it. Don't care.
Did you actually go into your overdraft?
No. The account's been empty for years.
you think you should go into the bank though and like?
Nope, that involves effort. But
Can't that affect your credit if you're in like an overdraft?
I'm not in an overdraft. I changed accounts because I kept going into overdraft because I kept buying shit I didn't need. Anime statues.
Oh, we're talking that far back.
Yeah, that's how far back. So I abandoned it, and I got Barclays. Barclays is good, and I don't use those accounts. But I got an email saying, charges on your account. Like, okay, whatever.
But this got me thinking, right? I've had this like chip on my shoulder about this movie, right? Identity Thief.
We were talking about
like a 2013 movie, right? I watched it around the time it came out, and I thought, it's not a funny premise. In fact, it's just like kind of nasty, and they're playing it up for humor. But I never had like that personal connection, Where now I feel like
justified.
I feel justified. Like, no, this ain't funny. There's nothing funny about this. Melissa McCarthy, Jason Bateman.
Who do you think you are?
Written by Craig Mazin, the guy who wrote Chernobyl and the Last of Us TV show. Credited on there. He wants to hide this stuff. I know you wrote Identity Thief, Craig.
Motherfucker.
Cut it out.
See, I'd be upset about my identity if they were doing lame stuff with it. If it's like they were doing bombastic shit that's like, oh, that's kind of crazy, I'll be like, good.
Like bought a private jet.
So you'd respect
Yeah.
it if they were like gambling in Las Vegas with
No,
your
I'd be like,
details.
stop gambling my money, you. Like, if they're doing shit that is a bit mental,
What if they won loads of money and gave you a bit?
fine. I don't care.
Robin Hooded it.
Yeah.
Like they won 100 grand and they give you like 20 grand.
Oh, fuck.
Thanks
Yeah.
for
Here's a
details.
theoretical. If you had like a bunch of money stolen,
Yeah.
let's say a quarter of all of the money you have,
Yeah.
and then you like personally track down the person who stole it, and they're like, yeah, I opened this orphanage with it.
Would you want it back?
What do you do then?
Kill all the orphans' children.
Burn it to the ground.
Okay, what if you find them and they're just driving around in a Lamborghini?
Bust the Lamborghini up.
Yeah, set on fire, Molotov cocktail through the open.
Yeah, I think
Put a potato in the exhaust. Yeah.
That's not going to do anything with.
I think all Lamborghinis, all
Set on fire.
Ferraris, all
Actually, no, fires have a little bit of a place.
For who? Rich people?
No, as in they kind of have a culture and a history to them. I like that.
well, the Italian culture and history.
Well, yeah.
I'm in Italy right now.
Oh my god!
You are.
Are you in a Ferrari?
I'm throwing Molotov cocktails at them.
Beep that.
I actually saw, just I think it was Facebook or whatever. And there was this guy posting. And he was like, "I sold this Ferrari last week, and it's just a video of these guys on mopeds drive out to this Ferrari, steal it. Half a quarter of a million Ferrari just gets stolen.
But like,
It's crazy.
how do you fence a Ferrari?
The way what I know the car smuggling theft rings work is that there are these like group chats where it's like this car's wanted. People will just hunt down and find the cars and then drop them into a location and get paid. That's how like simple it is, like GTA shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. So it's just like want a Ferrari F40. That's an extreme example. 812 is what this video was. There'll be lords in these group chats, and they'll be like, they'll find one and they will get it. And this thing, it's like if someone wants a car, it doesn't matter, they're gonna get it. It's like all of the new Merc Audis and Volkswagens are stolen so frequently because they're so easy to steal and they're worth like 50k. It's why I've like,
How are they so easy to steal?
you can just copy the fob and through the door and just get in it. Like they're extremely easy to steal.
Mr. Robot them.
Yeah, it's easy. It's like why I'm way more confident now that nobody's going to steal my car, because A, you can't really do anything with it, and B, what's the point? Steal an Audi. My $3,000 Nissan's isn't worth stealing. Just steal a f***ing Audi off the street. It's easy.
It's funny you mention Watch Dogs, because I think about like the I don't really like the game Watch Dogs really at all, but there's something cool about the idea, about that feature that was in that game where as you're walking around you could see like you're like hacking into everyone's personal details, right? And you can see like their job, their bank balance, and all this kind of stuff. Kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like walk around as if I'm Aiden Pierce, you know, like just picturing like what's in your bank account.
Yeah, do you think that though? You because I just look at someone, I'm like, I know what you drive. I just stereotype people and know what they drive. That's like my little watchdog skill.
But there's this YouTube channel that's getting quite popular right now that it's like 5 white people and 1 secret black person.
Oh yeah.
What?
You know, it's like it's quite a fun channel.
What the fuck is she doing?
But there was one that was like 1 secret millionaire. This kind of stuff. So it's trying to, it's like making a point, I guess, about like don't judge a book by its cover type thing. But I like thinking about that. I like picturing that I'm the Aiden Pierce. Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Yeah,
I think changing the traffic lights.
I think that concept could have been utilized in a really
if it wasn't
cool
an
way.
Ubisoft game. Maybe.
Yeah, because there's so like morally, you shouldn't be doing that.
No, it's invasive. Yeah,
it's horribly invasive, but the game never addresses that.
Well, no, you're Aiden Pierce.
Yeah, you watch some people doing some like crazy stuff.
In fact, he wears a cap kind of just like this, and he's kind of wearing a trench coat just like this.
I mean,
Aiden? Is that you, Aiden? Classic video game character, Aiden?
Okay, it's me, Aiden. No one remembers Aiden.
No one cares about Aiden. Well, if we're done with identity theft, there's a hypothetical I want to ask you guys. Something I've been thinking about.
All right.
Thinking about deep. You know Mozart for babies, right?
Yeah, it makes them
What?
smarter.
You know this.
What's
I don't know if it's like a wives' tale or whatever. Like this idea that if you play Mozart for a baby or like a pregnant belly, if you like play Mozart into it, it like does
the
something.
meme. It's just it's a meme format, isn't it?
It's in The Incredibles.
Yeah, like it.
Jack.
The idea is that it's like giving them a head start somehow. But I'm thinking like, okay, give me three musicians, 3 bands, 3 musical artists that would do the inverse, that would absolutely like destroy a baby.
Okay, well, this is the thing.
If Mozart makes it smart, what does playing Black Eyed Peas do to that baby?
No. I think
that is one. God.
I think there's different. There's actually there's 2 ways to think of this. There's like making them weird, and there's actually killing them. Because if you played like 9 Inch Nails,
Death Grips.
yeah, you're just their head would fucking explode.
Or would it actually make them smarter than the Mozart? Unintended side effect.
That's the question.
Something crazy.
Oh, I'd have to. I haven't got my phone on me.
Yeah, let's
Something disturbing. The Annihilation soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Like, what's gonna happen if you're blasting Imagine Dragons to that baby?
Oh, they're just gonna grow up and be normal.
You're blasting Imagine Dragons.
That's just an average person.
You're blasting Imagine Dragons. You're blasting Coldplay. You're blasting Adele.
Normal. Yeah, just a
That's how you create the most
Taylor
normal
Swift.
baby ever born.
I would blast like a real mix, a real hardcore mix. You can like pick and choose what kind of personality traits. So it's like if you want your son to be a terrible person like Kanye, then you know like
Caro Benito.
that's if you want them to be an indie art girl.
No, that's how you create like a
Fascist.
sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
yeah. It's like what would like anxiety, Mombasa, and the Inception soundtrack.
Something really stressful.
Baltus's theme in Armored Core.
That's how you make a warrior, man.
Yeah, you just blast like Dark Souls 1 boss music.
The gargoyles. Yeah.
They like come out really hardy and just ready to like overcome anything.
Like they're a perfectly square head.
They just come out
Head.
looking like the Dark Souls character creator, like
Yeah. Oh, Aiden Peters.
the Watch Dogs theme.
Yeah, how does that go?
Yeah.
Now, if you want them to be a f***ing absolute vagina, Drake.
Yeah. Drake and fucking...
Turn them into a lesbian, that's for sure.
You a lesbian girl, me too.
Or like,
Drake was fucked up.
there's also the option, I guess, of like, you could play them a podcast, of course. That's audio.
Normal episode.
Ooh, what would happen to a baby that you just have the normal episode on repeat? That's the first thing they're hearing. That's how they get.
They'd have like 50 different personalities.
Yes,
They just have like they'd be a mess.
His first word will be, I'm Brett. I'm Chet.
Or you just do the jar trio. You do the normal episode, like the curry episode, to like make that chaos part. You can make each member of Jar a different personality.
If you were like Elon Musk rich, you could like do that. Like you could get hold of like 3 babies easy, right?
And just
I'm
indoctrinate.
sure
them.
Elon Musk, he could get, if he really wanted.
He has that many already going.
Well, yeah, true. You could
He's
just
got,
forward
like,
your own
20.
babies, I guess. But then you take those babies and you do like controlled experiments, right? Have them
Yeah.
in different environments. It's like
See-
you blast the normal episode for one, the curry episode for one.
We'll see
and
for a
then, like,
chaos episode.
Yeah, just something crazy, and just see like how that affects their development. You know, like babies raised on podcasts. They have no other. All that it's like
No
old boy. You know,
interaction.
they're like trapped in this one room.
Yeah.
They're only allowed this like one source of information. You know,
From-
an old boy who learns how to like fight. He learns all these like skills. What? Would
It doesn't turn out
that
well
poor
for him, though.
It just learns how to make a banging podcast.
Yeah, he's-
I think that they'd end up like actually like, mentally ill.
yeah. You give them all like once they're of age, you give them a mic, and then you start letting them record their own
Yeah.
content.
And that's how Andrew Tate came to power.
So if that baby who's been brought up on podcasts has a baby, do they play their own podcast to their own baby?
Yeah,
It's
it's,
almost
like a
like-
cycle.
Then
Incestuous almost.
So what happens like few generations down of this podcast? What? Surely it's like the actual regression of humanity. This is where we go backwards. Like no critical thoughts, just podcast,
Content.
just content.
That would be an awesome like. That would be an awesome experiment, wouldn't it? You could have like the room with like the Joe Rogan baby, the room with the
God, David,
the Lex Friedman baby, the whatever podcast baby. Like just go crazy with it. Just
No,
like,
to be fair, the Joe Rogan one would probably be the most entertained because he's got that many podcasts. They never
Yeah.
get through them.
yeah, he'd have
He'd go
they'd
through
have the
his
most
whole life.
content.
Yeah.
He'd never have to make his own content.
He'd be ripped. He'd be all into like hunting.
Yeah.
Maybe
for more
he or she.
podcasts.
Maybe that's how hard times make hard men, and hard men make good times. Maybe that's the...
I saw on that note, I saw that like God bless his soul, man, Jordan Peterson. his Twitter stuff is getting more and more unhinged by the day.
He's losing it.
There was one I saw of like it was
He's
like
lost it.
Is it the Sesame Street one where he's just like he has beef with with Sesame
was that
Street?
the worm thing from is that one?
I don't know. He's
What?
just like he's a liar.
He talks like Elmo. Like
He does talk like
He's-
Elmo, but I was
he's-
sent one earlier and I was like, is that real?
The man's been playing too much Skyrim. He's
why has he got
becoming-
beef with Elmo? The worm.
don't
hold on,
know.
Let me see if I can find it here.
It's all to get these people
I
on.
was
Will.
dying at this.
I was
Here we
clipping
are. I
it.
found it. So yeah, it was a Sesame Street thing. It was just Sesame Street posting "Happy Birthday, Slimy," like this little worm thing, and he quote tweeted it saying, "Go to hell." Well, I'll show you.
There's more. There's more. There are even more unhinged ones.
Why?
There's no.
What's
There's
wrong with
worse.
Slimy?
There's worse. Go on.
He
his
may be
account, Will.
small, but he holds a ginormous place in our hearts. Happy birthday, Slimy. We love you. Go
go to hell.
It's like the least offensive thing.
It's the most innocent thing I've ever seen.
It's a worm.
He's unhinged. There's more. There's worse. That man is fascinating.
Yeah, I think.
It's the beef. The beef is actually his head.
Yeah, the beef's gone to his head.
Is
The beef and whatever he was on in Russia when he was there.
Was he on some like lean beef?
He was life-saving support or whatever, wasn't it? Like, what was the deal with him?
When
Because
was
he
in
was
Russia?
addicted to. This was a couple years back.
Like 2020,
21, 22.
COVID.
Really?
He was like, yeah, he was like in really bad shape.
Was this pre or post beef?
Pre-beef, but post-beef.
He's been on the beef thing for like years, supposedly.
Okay.
Him and his daughter. And he had to go to Russia for some reason to pay for some drug thing in order to treatment, because he got addicted to
Painkillers.
Yeah, painkillers.
He really is Max Payne.
Max Peterson.
Max Peterson.
Right. So then he went to Russia.
I guess he could have got that treatment in Canada or America, but he decided to go to Russia, got some kind of experimental treatment, and ever since then he's been like crazy. And like every
like
two
Russia's MK Ultra.
every 2 sentences he's like in tears, like
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
gone.
That's the only thing I ever see of Jordan Peterson now. It's like, so how are you doing these days? And then he just cries.
You know what? Fine.
Yeah.
I will never be able to get over the dungeon, the Goonsack dungeon tree, man. That shit is fucking.
that is like
All
I
of
never
his
need-
credibility died
Done.
in that
one tweet. Yeah,
Look what the CCP are doing to the
he's like,
people.
he's actually full on addicted to Twitter.
Are they all are
He
though?
can't stop.
He's Canadian Kanye.
It's not on, is it? It's not on.
At least he is somewhat funny in his derangedness. All the others are just cringe.
Yeah.
He does harm in his shit, but at least he posts some funny things.
It's
Yeah,
cartoonish. It doesn't even
there's
seem like a
no-
real person.
No, there's no comedy with like Ben Shapiro.
There is. He's pretty funny. The tweets he makes about his sisters, like, bro, you're on something.
I feel like, yeah, the Ben Shapiro thing, like the comedy with it peaked, but it's kind of at a low right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Jordan, he's coming out with these Sesame Street tweets,
Yeah, the
these
man's
gooning
angry.
tweets. You just,
He's dreaming of the Chinese goon caves.
Yeah, they're located in
it's
Britain.
almost like he wants it to be his reality.
Yeah.
The man just needs to
Well,
admit
see-
to his fantasies.
Because if he found out that was real, he'd be off to China.
Well, it is
Yeah,
real.
In a
And
heartbeat, yeah.
he just
Milked to death.
you just have to come to England to get milked to death because the government milk you and the fucking dominatrixes do too.
Yeah. Yeah, that man ironically needs some like psychiatric help.
Some CBT.
Some Chinese CBT.
He's tried the Russian CBT and it just made him crazy.
CBM. Cock and bull milking. I don't think it's torture for the person in the goon sack.
Not for Peterson.
JBP.
Jordan Beef. No.
Sometimes
It's like a South Park character like that has come out of the screen.
Yeah. But like if you saw it on South Park, it would be like, come on, guys.
This is ridiculous. Yeah,
You're
this is too far.
You're being dumb now.
it's like there was one of my ex colleagues who's now in a different department. He is a Jordan B. Peterson fan for his like the lane he knows.
His psychology stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to him about it, and I'd always drop in. I'd unconsciously say Jordan B. Peterson. I never really knew if he picked up on it, and it just straight out of my head.
I was talking to someone about this recently where I'm like, do you actually believe that beef thing? Do you seriously 3 meals a day, all he's
Beef.
eating is steak?
100% beef.
No, there's no way you can survive.
Yeah, surely he would be dead.
He's getting there.
After years.
It's not just him, it's him and his daughter as well.
And his daughter has a successful podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what that hilarious clip recently of the thing, because he's got to like go through some kind of deposition over his teaching credentials.
Yeah.
Right? He's got to go through some kind of like internet training thing.
Yeah, because for the position he's in.
Yeah. And that was revealed on his daughter's podcast, I think.
But doesn't he also have a podcast? Don't all of them have podcasts?
They all do, yeah.
We
How
have
are
a
you meant
podcast.
to watch all of this stuff?
Well,
Like
How do you
most people, they're like watching Jar every Monday. And then you've got like Joe Rogan every day. And then you've got like...
you got your Lex Friedmans.
You've got like
Who
Jake
is
and
Lex
Logan
Friedman?
Paul's.
You don't know the Lex Friedman guy?
No.
Have you actually missed that one?
I know you've mentioned him. I just can't
Is
picture
he the
him.
normal man?
He's like the
The
overly
ordinary
kind man, where his whole thing is like he's good faith to the point where it's like you have these people on your podcast and you're just like, I just think everyone should like love each other and just listen to each other or whatever. And it's like cute to a certain degree, but it's also just like it's like naive at a certain level, you know.
Yeah. Like you're just letting this guy eat beef 3 times a day. Like, you can't let
But how is he alive?
I think
I don't believe it.
he must have had some. He probably drank like protein shakes or like some vegetable.
You haven't had a
shake.
leaf. You haven't had a leaf in how many years?
Yeah, like how would he ever shit?
Imagine shitting only beef.
Only beef.
How would that come out your ass?
But also he says it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like unseasoned, no sauce,
Yeah.
no fiber, I guess.
Okay, should we do the most mentally jar thing ever? Should we all go on the diet
On
and
the
see how
beef
long
diet.
we
On the
cope?
beef diet.
We won't be around for long.
No, but we can
afford it.
see. But we'll buy the shittest beef from actually in bulk, man.
That's it too, like 3 steaks a day.
No,
That's
do you
gonna add
think
up quick.
would you give up after a day? You like steak. We all love steak. How far do you think you would get in the beef Peterson diet?
I reckon I could maybe do a week.
Jesus Christ.
Because I do enjoy steak, I do.
No, but I don't think not after day 2.
But
you'd be
not
like-
without seasoning it, without any...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about the beef
Can you
Peterson.
like cook it with oil?
No,
Butter?
no.
Just
Beef.
Just beef.
Shall I like see if I can find like an article about this beef?
Yeah, we
or
need
whatever?
details on how he's cooking his beef. Because there's no way he's just throwing beef in a pan, cooking it, eating it 3 times a day.
No, he microwaves it.
Weatherspoon special.
Microwave beef.
Okay, so I've got this article from The Atlantic. The Jordan Peterson all-meat diet. The famous psychologist and his daughter swear by a regimen of eating only beef. Restriction can provide a sense of order in a world of chaos.
Oh my
But at
god.
what point does restriction become a disorder? I know how ridiculous it sounds, Michaela Peterson told me recently by phone after a whirlwind of attention gathered around the 26-year-old who is now offering dietary advice to people suffering with conditions like hers. Well, not so much dietary advice as guiding people in eating only beef. I'm sorry, man. This is
You can't be offering people dietary advice
Also,
when you
like-
only eat beef.
also how do
Yeah,
you
that's not
how
a
do you get to
diet.
that conclusion? Like, why did you choose beef?
Yeah, who told them about this?
What?
Who really started the beef movement?
I bet it was like Kanye in a joke. Oh, I only eat beef.
At first glance, Peterson, who's based in Toronto, could seem to be one.
He's
of
in
the,
Toronto?
I
You
guess.
didn't see
I
him?
should have linked up. Huh. Could seem to
done a
be
podcast.
one of the many emerging semi-celebrities with a miraculous story of self-healing who shows off postpartum weight loss in bikini Instagrams and sell one thing or another, a supplement or tonic or book or compression garment.
Compression garment.
But Peter
She
is
looks
taking
almost angry.
the trend in extra professional health advice to an extreme conclusion. She is not doing sponsored posts for health products, but actively selling one-on-one counseling, $75 for half hour. For people who want... That is what makes it suspicious, though. Come on.
$75 for half hour. That's £150 per hour. Sign me the fuck
For the
off.
beef
I'm selling
advice.
beef,
For
boy.
people who want to stop eating almost everything. Peterson seems to be reaching suffering people despite a lack of training or credentials in nutrition or medicine, and perhaps because of that distinction. Her Instagram bio: for info on treating weight loss, depression, and autoimmune disorders with diet, check out my blog. The blog, which is called Don't Eat That, says at the top that many, if not most, health problems are treatable with diet alone. This is true if at odds with the disclaimer at the bottom of the page that her words are not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Yeah, just eat. You're depressed. Eat beef. Make yourself more miserable.
But why would you go to beef and not like chicken first or something? You know?
Yeah. Chicken is quite versatile. You know, steak is like...
Steak.
There is so much evidence, abundant, copious evidence acquired over decades of work from scientists around the world that most people benefit from eating fruits, vegetables, nuts, beans, and seeds. This appears to be largely because fiber in plants is important to the flourishing of the gut microbiome. Yeah, how is their gut microbiome?
It'll be dead.
It doesn't
Yeah.
Be
exist.
empty. It's like the end.
I ran this by some experts just to make sure I wasn't missing anything that might suggest a beef salt diet is potentially something other than a bad idea. I learned that it was worse than I thought. Physiologically, it would be just an immensely bad idea. Jack Gilbert, the faculty director of the University of Chicago's Microbiome Center and a professor of surgery, told me during a recent visit to his lab. A terribly, terribly bad idea. Gilbert has done extensive research on how the trillions of microbes in our guts digest food, and the look on his face when I told him about the all-beef diet was unamused. He began rattling off the expected ramifications. Your body would start to have severe dysregulation within 6 months of the majority of the processes that deal with metabolism. You would have no short-chain fatty acids in your cells. Most of the byproducts of gastrointestinal fermentation would shut down, so you wouldn't be able to regulate your hormone levels. You'd enter into cardiac issues due to alterations in cell receptors. Your microbiota would just be devastated. While much of the internet has been following this story in a somewhat snide way, Gilbert appeared genuinely concerned and saddened. If she does not die of colon cancer or some other severe disease, the life I can't imagine. There are few accounts of people having tried all beef diets, though all meat known as carnivory is slightly more common. Earlier this month, inspired by the media conversation about the Peterson approach, Alan Levinovitz, the author of The Gluten Lie, tried carnivory, eating only meat for 2 weeks. He did lose 7 pounds, which he attributes to eating fewer calories overall, because he eventually got tired of eating only meat. He missed snacking at coffee shops and browsing the local farmers market and trying out new restaurants around town, cooking with his family, and just generally enjoying food. I was psychologically exhausted, Levinovitz told me. When he turned to omnivory, he gained the lost weight in 4 days. Peterson told me it took several weeks for her to get used to the beef-only approach, and that the relief of her medical symptoms overpowers any sense of missing food. If even a tiny amount of anything else finds its way into her mouth, she will be ill, she says. This happens when she tries to eat an organic olive, and again recently when she was at a restaurant that put pepper on her steak. So yeah, completely unseasoned.
Jesus.
I was like, whatever, it's just pepper, she told me. Then she had a reaction that lasted 3 weeks and included joint pain, acne, and anxiety. Apart from having to exist in a world where the possibility of pepper exposure looms, the only other social downside she notices is that she hates asking people to accommodate her diet. She will usually eat before she goes to a dinner party, she told me, but then I'll go drink and enjoy the party. Drink as in water? ? I can also, strangely enough, tolerate vodka and bourbon. The idea that alcohol, one of the most documented toxic substances, is among the few things that Peterson's body will tolerate may be illuminating. It implies that when it comes to dieting, the inherent properties of the substances ingested can be less important than the eater's conceptualizations of them, as either tolerable or intolerable, good or bad. What's actually therapeutic may be the act of elimination itself.
That sounds like they're actually just...
Do you think it's all bullshit then? Because that sounds actually impossible to
That
maintain
is
for years.
that is what I'm saying. Like, how?
That's ludicrous.
Yeah.
Maybe they're memeing. A beef-only diet being that milk comes from beef.
Maybe they're like Maybe they just want people to copy it and like just take them out. You know?
Yeah, they're going for like genocide.
Unless it's like some psychological thing where like they believe it so strongly.
They manifest it.
Yeah,
It's like manifesting and they're just like a biological anomaly.
Yeah.
Placebo is a powerful thing. I really like this steak today. On steak number 3000.
In all the, if you see the clips of Jordan Peterson talking about it, he is so upset that he eats beef every day.
Yeah, but he's been mindfucked.
Yeah. Poor man.
Is that what is it with the white and all just being really creepy? Ben Shapiro has the weird thing with his sister. Jordan Peterson eats beef. Then you've got Nick Fuentes, who's just like can't admit that he loves
Boogers.
Maybe that's how
man.
he's surviving. He's eating his boogers.
That is probably likely. They all need to admit their own little vices and just fucking get on with it.
Yeah, they end up gooned on like some weird shit.
To just not to like maintain like societal values. Like just love men.
There's a bit more in this article. Well, I have a negative story, said Peterson. Both Michaela and I noticed that when we restrict our diet and then ate something we weren't supposed to, the reaction was absolutely catastrophic. He gives the example of having had some apple cider and subsequently being incapacitated for a month by what he believes was an inflammatory response. You were done for a month? ? Oh yeah, it took me out for a month. It was awful. Apple cider? What was it doing to you? It produced an overwhelming sense of impending doom. I seriously mean overwhelming. There's no way I could have lived like that, but see, Michaela knew by then that it would probably only last a month. A month? From fucking cider? I didn't sleep that month for 25 days. I didn't sleep at all for 25 days.
No,
What?
that's
How
fucking
is that
bullshit.
possible? I'll tell you how it's possible. You lay in bed frozen in something approximating terror for 8 hours, and then you get up. The longest recorded stretch of sleeplessness in a human is 11 days.
That's bullshit.
Witnessed
no.
by a Stanford research team. How is he saying this?
This is bullshit. Oh my god, that's so edgy, man.
That almost sounds like pathological, like lying.
Yeah, there's no way the man's been awake for 26 days. Man probably is up for 10 hours and be like, oh, I'm a little eepy sleepy, and goes to sleep. Jordan, shut up.
While there is debate in the scientific community over just how much meat belongs in a human diet, it is impossible for all or even most humans to eat primarily meat. Beef production at the scale required to feed billions of humans, even at current levels of consumption, is environmentally unsustainable. It's not even healthy from a theoretical evolutionary viewpoint. The microbiome of Gilbert explained to me. Carnivores need to eat meat or else they'll die. Humans do not. The carnivore gastrointestinal tract is completely different from the human gastrointestinal tract, which is made up of a system designed to consume large quantities of complex fibers. What the Petersons are selling is rather a sense of order and control. Science is about questions and self-help is about answers. A recurring idea in Jordan Peterson's book is that humans need rules. Its subtitle is An Anecdote to Chaos, even if only for the sake of rules. Peterson discovered this through his own suffering, as when he was searching the world for the best surgeon to give his younger daughter a new hip. In explaining how he dealt with Michaela's illness, he wrote, "Existence and elimination are inextricable," and I can't read this, man.
Should we put a close on the
his
Peterson?
patented big words?
I can't.
Inexorably fucking
Inextricably.
A bit.
Right, the last bit. In a law of a strict code for eating, a way to divide the world into good foods and bad foods, angels and demons, may be especially strong at a time when order feels in short supply. Indeed, there is at least some benefit to be had from any and all dietary advice or rules for life, so long as a person believes in them, and so long as they provide a code that allows a person to feel good for having stuck with it and a cohort of like-minded adherents. The challenge is to find a code that accords as best as possible with scientific evidence about what is good and bad and what is the best for the world. That is insane.
The man's a bit mentally ill, and he should probably get the psychological help he needs.
Like that genuinely does sound like mental illness.
There's no way you're bullshitting about not sleeping for 26 days. Like, why would you do that unless you're not?
Yeah.
So what is the
off.
truth then? So like he's either genuinely doing it and he's insane and he's somehow not died just through pure mental fortitude and I guess vodka and
Yeah.
whiskey.
That's it. This whiskey vodka steak. That's your
Or-
diet.
He's like fibbing about this and just lying.
Yeah, he's lying.
And
sell
on the
books.
down low, he's actually eating a more balanced diet.
Ice cream.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but if you have some apple cider, and you can't
you're
sleep
out
for
for a
26 days because you're so overrun with existential dread. Man just needs to stop being a doomer. Man just needs to leave politics and just kind of like do things he likes.
I have a shot of apple cider when my tummy hurty.
Yeah. Yeah, it does the opposite. I'll be out for a week, have a bit of apple cider, and I'm cured.
No, but I think he's talking about apple cider, the alcohol, not apple cider, the thing you drink to make yourself feel better.
I thought it was
Apple
apple
cider.
Cider vinegar.
Yeah, I thought it said apple cider vinegar.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
why the fuck is man just having apple cider vinegar?
Maybe it was
It's yummy.
Maybe there was a sprinkling of it on some of his beef.
Just
Yeah, I
send them
I
over.
regularly get it from a local farm shop.
What a way to be. Imagine like being
What a
able
way to beef.
Imagine being able to consume not beef.
Be normal. Should we? I think the only thing we can do is have him on the cast.
Yeah.
But would people get angry because we're
giving him a platform.
But it's just like we're talking about beef.
Yeah.
We're not talking about his
But, like,
weird
I've
political
heard
standings.
people talk about like the carnivore diet before, but even that still includes, broccoli, fibers,
milk.
Yeah, milk.
Like you can live without milk, but not if you're only eating beef.
I wasn't expecting that to go into such a diatribe, but I've been ruminating about this for so long, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't believe him.
I don't.
I don't believe you.
I think that is a valid conclusion to come to.
Because maybe if he was like, yeah, for every meal I eat chicken and broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could believe that.
I could believe that. But beef?
Just beef. Get some green beans on there.
Mm-hmm.
Something to make your body function.
No, come on. But the thing is, he can't drink any of alcohol but whiskey and vodka. So it's like the best thing with beef is red wine. He can't even enjoy that. What? His life actually sounds fucking miserable.
Yeah. Also, was the vodka in the diet before he went to Russia?
I'll ask the Russians.
Does that mean he can't have gin because of the botanicals?
Might be a bit of cider vinegar in there.
Might be a hint of lime.
Yeah.
Surely, if your body is
juniper,
so starved,
I was out for 6 months.
if your body's that starved of just kind of everything, surely it get to a point where touching it sends you into a coma. Like you just touch a fucking grape and you just die.
If he touches grass, he will die.
But that's the part that makes me so suspicious of it, though. It's like, not only you live in this life, but you're charging in order to
tell people to also live it.
Like the secrets of it.
Yeah.
The secret's to a point just eat your balanced diet and you eat apples.
Also, just have vegetables and carbs
and some fruit.
and other meats. Nah. Well, okay. Let's make a promise to the Jar listeners. We will have Jordan Peterson on.
We will. We'll get him on.
Next episode.
Next episode, he'll be here.
That's a promise. You can tweet at James if
If it doesn't go through
doesn't
Twitter
come
me,
to
I'll
us.
instantly talk to Jordan. I'll work out with him. Get it, Jordan.
That Jordan coalition.
Yeah. We're hoping to be adopted by that giant right wing company anyway.
Oh, Daily Wire.
Daily Wire.
No, we're not.
Jar on the Daily Wire.
Yeah.
Should we just make an LLC and just siphon all the money out of the Daily Wire, and then
Yeah.
dump?
Let's fraud the Daily Wire.
You know, the Daily Wire makes like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, so
a year.
they've got a little.
Yeah, so they got a couple mil.
So why don't we just do the smart tactic and send them an invoice? Send them an invoice that we like cleaned a building and see if they pay it. Like that guy did with Google.
Did he do it and it worked?
No, he got recently caught because he was like charging them for like cleaning a part of their office for like 10 plus years monthly, and they never realised he just doesn't. He just started invoicing them. They paid it and kept paying it.
That's initiative right there.
That's that.
But it's just like he's not done anything wrong.
That's fire.
Besides committing fraud.
Yeah.
Like
He's just seen an opportunity and he has grasped it.
Yeah, so we should do it at the Daily Wire and see how much we can siphon out of them.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
I've been doing it. Where do you think I got this nice little fresh drip from, man?
How do we
Thanks,
afford all these?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Fuck you, get out of here.
No, we're
Get
not
outta
done
here.
yet.
Huh?
We're not done yet. We still got to go to the Twitter questions.
Oh, I forgot about this as a question.
We've been talking about Jordan B. Peterson for fucking 50 minutes.
Where's my phone gone? Oh, it's here. No.
I don't have Twitter anymore.
You don't need Twitter anymore. You don't need anything
You
anymore,
mean
actually.
X?
Are you going to get out of YouTube, though?
Get it right.
How am I going to watch the Jar Media podcast if I don't have YouTube?
Yeah, can you get rid of the shorts function? Can you ban yourself from it?
Okay, let's do like a fire round, I guess. What do
Okay.
you call it? Short fire
fuck.
round.
Fucking
Fuck
bullshit.
fire.
PK Fire!
Fuck you.
At Heavy Evil says, any time in life have you fallen out of love with any of your hobbies? Did you rekindle that love, or was it replaced with something else? Happy gaming.
Cars from 17 to 21.
Really?
Yeah, I was in a car guy. I rode a motorbike. Had no interest in cars because I was all about my future and whatnot. And what fucking I was. I actually wasted. I could have bought every car I wanted for like 2p because they were shit and worthless. But now they're worth 30 fucking grand. Honestly, I'd go back to that time and beat the shit out of myself.
Yeah.
I'd give.
Always chase the things you desire.
Yeah,
even
no,
if you
chase
can't afford
dreams. Don't chase anything else. Chase dreams. But yeah, I have my hobby. It's good. Stresses me out constantly. My car smells like it's catching fire.
At Jar Jar Media says, need to know the boys' favourite Fortnite skins.
Chun-Li.
I like the ones on Fortnite
Yeah,
gooning
kinda.
buds.
Yeah,
Chun-Li. That picture, that Chun-Li fucking picture I showed you is the thumbnail. Pump fucking
Yeah.
goon spend.
Yeah, dude, we'll get like 300k views.
At Billy Petrock 12 said, when was the last time you had Greg's? And did you throw up because I did for some reason?
Gonna be honest, we've talked shit on Greg's, but Greg's is generally actually quite good.
I had Greg's a couple days ago.
It's unbelievably. It's the only affordable thing in the country.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge anyone for getting a crappy Greg's coffee.
Matt, IKEA.
Their coffee's fucking garbage.
Their coffee is garbage, but the IKEA food, mega ultra ridiculously cheap.
Yeah, and good.
So's Greg's though, man.
Kills your gut
The
line.
sausage rolls are yummy.
Their sausage. What I got there from.
I don't
there
like their
recently-
sausage rolls.
You
I
serious?
don't like any sausage roll that isn't homemade.
Wow, look at you, elitist.
That is
No,
elitist.
shut up. How is that elitist? You think you think like the elite make sausage rolls?
They do.
Eat them.
The British Brexit
Yes.
geezer elites love sausage rolls. That's what the Queen
Yeah,
was fucking.
Greg's.
How do you think King Charles got his fingers?
He does have
At
sausage.
Mick
He
Boss.
does.
At Mick Boss has one for you, James. Can
Yeah.
James talk about the Evangelion 3.0? Whole other bunch of numbers. Movie Blu-ray coming out in October.
An Evangelion rebuild. You've got 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 3.0 plus 1.0.
Is that serious? Say that again.
1.0, then you got the first movie 1.0, then you got 2.0, then you got 3.0, then the last one's 3.0 plus 1.0.
Okay. Why not 4.0?
No, but this is the thing. He made the first one, and he made the second one. He made the third one and waited 10 years to make the fourth one.
Which is 3.0 plus 1.
Yeah.
Why isn't it just 4.0?
I've seen 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, but I've not seen 3.0 plus 1.0. Because I watched it.
God.
I watched it before it came out, and I haven't got around to it. I started watching it again on Amazon. I need to start watching
it anymore.
I love I am actually considering rewatching the show and doing an actual.
nevering.
No, you shouldn't. It's a.
I'm considering nevering.
So have I ever talked about the lengths I went to for Evangelion back in the day?
What do you mean?
Like the way I found out about Evangelion was when I was probably 16, 15, and when I was a 4chan user. And when I say I was a 4chan user, I used the anime board and only the anime board. I'd go on every day and you see what anime discussions are going on. And after spending time watching crappy anime, it was like I realised that there's an Evangelion thread always populated. So without having seen the show, I'd go into them and start arguing with people. Because I'd browse them and see what characters they're talking about or what plot points they're talking about. So I'd argue with them about it, having never actually watched it. And it got to a point where all I did was go on Evangelion threads and argue. And this was years before I actually watched it. And then I watched it and never finished it because it's shit. and it's like influenced everything in my life because everything has Evangelion as the core of my teenage years. Everything, I can't stop thinking about Evangelion. Hence why I mention it so much, because it's like an integral part of my existence now. I've not finished it though.
Got one for you here, Jim, from OscarMan97. Jamie's thoughts on the upcoming MGS Master Collection. I think it's exciting to think that a lot of this content will no longer be locked on certain systems, especially if we get MGS4 in the future.
I'm pretty sure we are getting MGS4 in the future. Yeah. This one is MGS 1, 2, and 3. And then the next one's going to be like 4, Peace Walker, and 5, I think.
5?
5?
Phantom Pain?
Yeah, I think so. That shit was on like 360. It can run on a Switch. Surely.
I would play...
5 was on 360.
Yeah, it was released on 360, right?
Are you serious?
No, it was
Like,
on
that's
Xbox One.
It was on Xbox One and 360.
No way.
I swear.
MGS5?
I swear to God. I haven't.
It wasn't. No, it was absolutely not.
There's no way. It was
it wasn't. No, you're because there was
was
the prequel, the tiny little prequel game.
Yeah.
That was like a really early Xbox One game. Then a year later, you got the actual game. It wasn't on 360. It was all Xbox
more than
One.
A year later.
Because I remember the case. Because you bought the actual game on disc. It was not a 360 game. It was purely Xbox One. That game would never run on an Xbox 360.
Dude, I got memories, dude. Because it came out around like the same time as Destiny. Destiny 1 was on 360.
Phantom Pain was not on the same time as Destiny. No
Which
way.
came first?
I was on Google Plus when Phantom Pain came out.
Was it actually on 360?
I swear to fucking God. I swear it was.
I don't think it was.
I swear
you
it
might
was.
be right.
Oh, no.
I swear it was.
Who played that game on 360?
Dumbasses.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Get fucked. I fucking knew it.
How the fuck is that game on 360? No.
I knew it.
Google pictures. Google what it actually
Amazon, man. I could buy this right now.
No. Google. Go on Google Images. I want to see the graphic quality of that fucking game.
Trash.
They were like video. Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Wow.
Going back to the question, I'm excited because I've never played MGS1. I haven't been able
I would
to.
actually play them on a Switch. It'd be really convenient.
I think that's where I'm going to get them.
I don't care about playing them on anything else.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm kind of blown away that was on. What the?
Yeah, I don't know why I know that, but I do.
Was that mean the prequel one?
I found a thread on
the
Metal Gear Solid subreddit from 7 years ago. How playable is MGS5 on Xbox 360? Some of the comments. It was a blast to play. The frame rate doesn't become a problem once you get used to it and is very stable. Cutscenes are very fluid and the iDroid loading times are just as bad as next-gen loading times. Unless you're a graphic purist who will scrutinize every texture, I'd say go for it.
Wow.
That is nuts.
That's crazy.
Must be like quite a good like optimized engine then.
Yeah, also, like, the stuff that game does, really, other than graphically, like, it's no more impressive
What?
than, like, Red Dead.
I need to go back and play that game.
Yeah, I love MGS5.
I didn't get further enough in it, and I gave up for some silly reason. Like, I didn't even get to Africa. I only got to Afghanistan.
It's quite a weirdly paced game.
Yeah.
You have to be hooked to the gameplay, like, loop of it. Otherwise, you're not going to stick it out.
Yeah. The gameplay is fun. I like being a little goofy guy running around with stealthy.
Like a goop boy.
Yeah, goop boy. We're the goop boys.
We're goop boys.
We're goop boys.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Let's end on this one from Undead Girl Boy. What has been the cast which each of you boys have enjoyed recording most?
One of the ones recently, actually. There was a really funny app recently that I just loved.
Yeah.
That one is like
the one
peak.
before, the one before, the one before the last one.
The one before, the
What's
one
it
before,
called?
the one before.
We were all here. What did we talk about?
The one, not the one before, but the one before the last one.
Because there was an episode where we went
before the last. I see.
when we went in on some animal discussion. That was quite funny. I like that one.
I did like the Alive note a lot.
No, that's that's
Yeah,
the one
that
I'm
was
thinking of. That was
Yeah, that was good.
the original bear video. When we first started arguing about bears, they were fun.
Yeah.
But the Alive note, it is peak.
Recently, yeah. I really enjoyed the one that Alex did. I remember the normal episode being fun. Being like a really fun time to record.
Mm-hmm.
It's the answer, like, it's you should know by now as a listener that the memory of each episode we just lose. The second the camera turns off, like, our memory.
Yeah.
I'm going home and like
because I'm like scrolling through.
Do you say I remember?
Some of these are you got the Stinkies, you got HL's Problem, Humans Born Fresh.
Oh yeah.
See the names
Bobby's
don't mean anything.
China.
That Bobby's China was a good one.
Bobby's China was good. But yeah, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, they all are. They're all great.
It's not like making a movie, you know, where like you're like
You gotta, like,
scrutinizing
plan it.
You've got to plan it out, scrutinize every detail, and like
Watch it flop in the cinema and then never make another one.
yeah, and then be bankrupt and in debt for the rest of your life.
The deliciousness of timing.
Yeah. No, if you have a question like which episode X, the answer will be the normal episode.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
or the Alive note. Stop.
What about the regret one?
What no,
Milky
that was
regret.
pain, man. I fucking hated that.
Regret. But when we had the regret and I drank too much milk.
See, I didn't drink any milk, and it was fucking miserable.
A certain trending frog.
What trending frog?
I'm getting tired and loopy and
Yeah,
too
same.
hot. Fuck, I'm sweating, man.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I can't take it anymore.
Dude, I've got to leave this room. I'm sweating.
I can't.
Yeah.